Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new here, welcome back if you are not. It's Baby Jesus here with another gold making guide. In today's video we will be touching base on something that has been brushed over but not really gone in depth on for some odd reason. Now what we are talking about today is of course beeswax. Now before we get too far into it, if you guys do like the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out a ton. Now, if you don't like the video, make sure to leave a comment down below on how I can improve on future content. Now, as I mentioned, beeswax is sort of an untapped market for some odd reason. It's selling for an astronomical amount of gold, and if you capitalize on it, I don't know how long it will last, you can make yourself a decent amount of gold in doing so. Now, in my previous video that I will make a little tag for in the top corner there, you guys can see the route that I go by and use to gather what once upon a time was honey. Well, now those same honey trees are going to drop something called beeswax alongside honey. Now, I haven't quite figured out what the drop rate is and why it's different or how much luck is involved in getting beeswax or honey. But in running this route, you guys can make yourselves a decent amount of gold. Now, this is what I mean by that. What's very interesting here, guys, you're going to have to note, you need to go gather beeswax before you can actually take a look at what's going on. And what I mean by that is you can't search it up in the marketplace here. The only reason that I know that you can sell it, or that I know what it's selling for, is because I can go into sell and find it in my inventory. Alright? I have it on hand, which is the only reason I know that I can sell it. If I wanted to look up beeswax here, there's no shot. Even if I look up bee, you can't find it. So just note, that is how you are going to need to find it. You can't look it up on the market otherwise. It's very, very bizarre. But what's very nice about this is I think that has created a little bit of an interesting situation with the market of beeswax. You guys can see here, these are buy orders, meaning I can go ahead and sell my beeswax right now for 4.35 gold each. Or, if I want, what it's actually selling for most likely is 5.25, and realistically probably a little bit higher than that. You see 5.25, 5.55, 5.65. So realistically, 5.25 is on the lower end of the spectrum. But for our numbers today, that's what we're going to use. Now, on the route that I take, I did have a little bit in my inventory. I ran it 5 times, which I could do in just over an hour. I think it was an hour and 2 minutes. I was able to gather, you guys can see here, an average of 43 beeswax and 215 honey. Now, during the route that I'm going to show you, there is a ton of materials that you can gather on the way, from elemental plants, mining, different gathering nodes, iron, a ton of iron on this route. You will be able to gather a ton of stuff if you're here solely for the gold making. But do note that the route covers a lot of area, so if you get sidetracked on everything, it will take you longer to run. So you guys can see here, on average, I was getting about 43 beeswax. Now, I did run it 5 times. That's the average I got. And 215 honey, that again is the average after over 5 times. Now, what's very interesting, though, and it's very interesting to note here, if you're only running it a few times, you're going to have a lot of inconsistencies. I ran it 5 times to get this average. There was one time where I got almost 80 beeswax and virtually no honey. And there's another time where the opposite was true. I had about 450 honey and about 15 beeswax. So just keep in mind, this is going to be slightly inconsistent if you're not running it a lot. I still haven't figured out how much luck plays into this or if it's just a drop rate thing. But what's really nice is that your beeswax is going to sell fast. So you can make a lot of gold very quickly with this. So you guys can see here, you can run it 5 times an hour. Like I said, it takes about 12.5 to 13 minutes to run the entire route. And in doing so, you will get roughly 1,128 gold and 86 gold respectively for beeswax and honey, just based on the market value right now. And it's important to note, my server did get merged. I am now on a high population server. So these prices should be a little more relevant to each of you guys now. So all this to say, you can make just north of 1,200 gold an hour collecting beeswax. I say 1,200, I like to be conservative. Now, what route am I talking about? I'm glad you asked. The route that I am talking about is, of course, the one from my honey gathering guide. Now, I'm going to show you guys where to go and what order to get them in. And these are all going to be from honey trees, just like you would have gathered honey beforehand, but still slightly less common of a drop than honey. Again, you guys saw 43 versus 215. Just keep that all with a grain of salt. So you're going to start right here. So that's where you're going to start it off. And where this is just southwest of the Hermit Shrine. All right. So this is the farm near the Hermit Shrine, and the Hermit Shrine is up along the river. Now, you're going to start right at this bend here. You are going to make your way across the river. There's going to be a honey tree here. You're going to cut across to the farm here. There's going to be a double spawn. You're going to go up around the corner and stay around near the water. There's going to be a tree right here. And then from there, you're going to go cut across this farm all the way across the road to this little Y intersection here. And there's going to be a nice big double spawn of a large and a small honey tree right here. From there, you're going to cut in towards the farm, and you're going to skirt along this little fence right here the whole time, and you're going to come down this way. There's going to be a ton of them. They are one behind the other, so you really can't miss them. There's going to be a bunch. There's going to be one in the corner here. There's going to be one up here, one here, one here, one here, one here. They are everywhere. So you follow along the farm, and then you're going to round the bend of this little, it's like a stone wall, and you're going to come back towards the road. And there's going to be another double spawn here, and up to this rock. There's going to be one more large honey tree. Now, this is where the route itself gets long. All of this will take you less than 5 minutes to do. But here you're going to have about 3 minutes of walking because you're going to need to head all the way down to this rock right here. There will be a double spawn on the back side of it right here. So you're going to want to get those honey trees. And then you're going to hop across the road to this rock right here. There's going to be a spawn right in front of it on that side. Afterwards, you're going to head to the back of this little cave here, or cove, cliff, I guess. There's a double spawn up the cliff. You're going to walk across right here. There's another spawn. After that, you're going to jut down to this rock where there's another spawn. You can obviously cut across this way if you'd like, but it's entirely up to you. After you've gathered this one, you're going to head across to this big rock. And then you're going to double back up the cliff, up towards the cliff where there's another spawn here. There's a spawn in this little gap on this cliff side here. And you're going to roll down the hill and around right here. And that's going to be your last spawn of this route. After that, you're going to want to head all the way back up to your starting point. So this whole route, like I said, all in all, you've got about 7 to 8 minutes of gathering and about 5 minutes of walking. So it comes out to around 12.5 to 13 minutes to do. And like I said, you guys can gather a ton of beeswax. You can gather a ton of different materials. It's very, very easy to do. It's low level friendly. I think the highest level mob you'll meet is level 12 or 13. And for some reason, people don't touch them. With the change, people think that beeswax is useless just because you can't find it on the market easily. And I say absolutely not. Get in there. Make your money with the beeswax while it lasts. It might be because people can't search that it's selling for so much, but the proof is right here, guys. You can make yourselves a buttload of gold with very, very little effort. Just go out there, run it a few times, and make your golden piece. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Be kind. Be safe. And I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.